Pacific Island youth argue for climate action before an international court. Welcome to VOA Asia Weekly. I'm Jessica Stone in Washington. We'll get to that story just ahead, but first, making headlines. South Korea's parliament formally introduced a motion to impeach President Yoon Suk-yeol on Thursday. The move comes after Yoon declared martial law, dividing his ministers and unleashing political chaos. Lawmakers will vote by Saturday, and if two-thirds agree to impeach, Yoon will be immediately suspended. Philippine Vice President Sara Duterte faces two impeachment complaints this week after making death threats against President Ferdinand Marcos, his wife, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. The first claim accuses Duterte of incompetence and graft in office. The second accuses her of misusing $10.5 million in public funds.
We are all asking on Congress to impeach her and remove her from office and prohibit her from occupying any other government positions in the future.
President Marcos says impeaching Duterte is a waste of time. Vietnamese real estate tycoon Diong Meliong has lost her appeal after she was sentenced to death in April for her role in the nation's biggest financial fraud case on record. The court said her sentence could be reduced to life in prison if she reimburses $11 billion, which is 3/4 of the amount defrauded. More than 30,000 villagers in Thailand and Malaysia have been driven from their homes by severe flooding, leaving structures tattered and cars stranded. At least 29 people have died. Heavy rain is still in the forecast for the region. Rescuers are evacuating residents and searching for several missing people in southern India and Sri Lanka after Cyclone Fengal hit. Southern India experienced its heaviest 24-hour rainfall in 30 years, causing floods and mudslides. Sri Lanka's disaster management agency says nearly 470,000 people are seeking shelter. Pacific Island nations argued for urgent climate action before the International Court of Justice in the Netherlands this week. They want an advisory opinion on the legal obligation of countries to fight climate change. Here's my report. Serua Island, just off the coast of Fiji. It's home to 143 people, most of whom want to grow old on the land of their ancestors.
It's very hard for them to move. I think this generation, it's easy for us to go because we've seen what's happening.
Right now, we cannot rely more on seawall to safeguard our coastal area. Also, climate change is affecting our food security.
Now, Pacific Island youth are pressing the International Court of Justice for an advisory opinion on the legal obligations of developed nations to fight climate change.
As judges of the World Court, you possess the power to renew the power to help us course correct.
But top emitters like China say there's no need for an advisory opinion. The existing United Nations treaties, they say, are enough to oblige developed nations to pay for climate mitigation and adaptation and to curb greenhouse gas emissions, or GHG.
GHG emissions do not constitute internationally wrongful act under general international law. The resulting loss and damage cannot be addressed through state responsibility or liability regime.
Back in Serua Island, they are planting mangrove trees to try and prevent erosion and looking for funds to repair their breakwalls.
The time will come that there is no other means of controlling this. We just have to move.
It's a hard truth faced uniquely by these Pacific Island peoples, even as they hope the International Court of Justice will deliver a new source of leverage to force developed nations to pay for climate adaptation. The court's decision is expected next year. You can visit voanews.com for the most up-to-date stories. I'm Jessica Stone. Finally, they may look like bandits, but they are the ones who were stolen. Now they're on their way home. Dozens of lemurs and more than 900 tortoises trafficked to Thailand are heading back to Madagascar. The first group of animals arrived on Sunday, with more expected in the coming week. They'll undergo quarantine before being released into their natural habitats. Malagasy officials say 15 people have been arrested for illegal wildlife trafficking. Thanks for watching VOA Asia Weekly.